I love Dallas because you guys have shown that you can beat the odds and do hard things, and you can defy the political pundits who say it can't be done. You were the county that showed that in the face of all of that, it absolutely can be done. I'll never forget waking up the morning after Election Day in 2006 to see what had happened in Dallas County. It was astonishing, and I would hazard a guess that there were a few candidates that were on the ballot that year as Democrats who woke up the next morning rather surprised that they had won. But they won because of people like you, a ground game of people who were knocking on doors, who were committed to making sure that the values of Texas families in Dallas County were heard and were represented by the candidates who would be elected that year. That was demographic destiny catching up to Dallas County, but it was more than that. It was the fact that people were willing to really get aggressive in making phone calls and knocking on doors. One of my staff members who's worked with me for a number of years started in the political arena knocking on doors in that election cycle. So she is partly to thank for the incredible turnout and the unbelievable change and movement that occurred here in Dallas County, and that set the tone for what we can do in places all over the state. We know, as Representative Alonso said, this is a turnout issue. And I tell folks all the time on the campaign trail, Texas is not a red state. Texas is a non-voting blue state. Yeah. And we are going to make sure that Texas reflects who it really is this November. I feel very confident that Texans believe they can make a difference in this election. They know that for the first time in 14 years, without a doubt, we will be electing a new governor in this state. And a lot of folks who thought it couldn't be possible that we could elect anyone other than Rick Perry during those 14 years and that stayed home during those election cycles, they're out there. You're out there. And I see it as I travel all around this state. When I'm asked by people in the press or others, how are you going to do this? How are you going to win in this red state? I say to them, follow me on the campaign trail for just a few days and see what I see. See what I saw in Houston, Texas yesterday, where we launched a block walk in northern Harris County from a suburban community. And as we were driving into the neighborhood, I thought, I wonder how many people will show up from this community for a block walk. Didn't really look like Democratic territory. And I got to the house, there were 82 people there to block walk on a late afternoon, a hot afternoon, on a Sunday in suburban Harris County. And when I see that, and when I saw the day before in our opening of our second field office in Houston, over 200 people showed up with enthusiasm to sign up, to make calls, to knock on doors, that's when I know that we're going to do this hard thing because people believe that it can be done. And why do they believe it? They believe it because they know that for so long their voices have been ignored, and they know they're not alone. That when it comes to issues like appropriately funding our schools, they know that there are thousands of people just like them who want to make sure that we make that our priority in this state. They know that there are thousands of people just like them who believe that women deserve to be paid equally for equal work, and they're riled up, and they're ready to come out, and they're ready to vote. They know that there are thousands of people across this state who believe, like them, that Medicaid expansion is the right decision for this state. Not only because of the 1 million to 1.5 million hardworking Texans who will be covered, but because of the $100 billion that we will draw down, our tax money that we've sent to D.C. and that needs to come back to our communities to go to work for us. It's predicted that that money will create about 300,000 jobs per year. And there are folks all over this state who know that there are thousands of others who agree with them that leadership in the governor's office looks like someone who thinks it's a good idea to bring our $100 billion back into the Texas economy. We know that there are thousands of people out there who are frustrated with what they've seen in Republican failed leadership in this state. Leadership, and I use that term loosely, who have made sure that folks who have the legal franchisement don't have the ability to vote. An effort to suppress at the ballot box what they know is happening in this state, that people are waking up to the failures of what their governance has brought, and people are going to come and respond in droves to what they want to see in new leadership in this state. I am so proud to be your Democratic nominee for governor of this great state, and I'm so proud to share the ballot with folks like those who are here with us tonight. Those House district candidates that spoke to us earlier, who are all working so enthusiastically on their own races. Representative Alonzo, Representative Giddings, Judge Hoffman, all of these folks who are down ballot races in this election cycle, who will not only help lift us up at the top, but we will help lift them up all the way down. And Leticia and I are committed to making sure that that happens. We're doing something really significant in this race. My campaign has invested in a modeling and targeting program that was not inexpensive, but it created for us the ability to know who to talk to, who to try to turn out, and spend our time as efficiently as possible. And we're doing something incredibly unique. We're sharing it with every down ballot candidate across this state so that they can have advantage of that information and they can help to turn out those voters as well. I'm proud to be a member of a team of people who believe in doing the right things for the good people of this great state. And I am so proud to be joining you tonight, making phone calls. I can't thank you enough for all of the hard work you've already put in. I can't thank you enough for the hard work you're going to commit in some hot summer days ahead, when you're out knocking on doors and that sweat is rolling down your back and you've knocked on about 15 and nobody's answered and you're feeling discouraged, but by golly, you're going to come to that one door where you're going to have a great conversation with someone. And when you're in those moments and you're feeling discouraged and tired and hot and cranky, please remember this. You're making a difference in the lives of people who will never know you did that work, who you will never meet. You're making a difference in the life of a 4-year-old who's going to get to go to pre-K and get off to a good head start. You're making a difference in the life of women who deserve safe health care. You're making a difference in the lives of teachers who deserve to be paid at least the national average. You're making a difference in so many lives, so many people who will never know that you worked to make it happen. But you'll own, I hope, a piece of what you know you're accomplishing when we win on November the 4th. And we show once again what real leadership looks like in the state capital of this great state. God bless you all. Thank you so